You're watching Last Minute Laura. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. As you can see, I am holding some fabric, so today's project is going to be involving some of this cotton muslin. What we're going to be doing today is a little bit more natural dyeing. So the items that we're going to be using for today to dye our fabric are all harvested from my parents' farm. So my parents recently purchased a farm, and this is our first season of seeing all of the plants and flowers and fruits and vegetables that grow on it. But I wanted to be able to show them some of the cool stuff that you can do with the items at the farm, as opposed to purchasing your dyes and whatnot from out and about. All right. Like I was trying to say, using something that I'm pretty excited to see how it comes out. I know it doesn't look like much in my container, but it's grape skins. My parents have, on that farm, a Concord grape vineyard and an ice wine grape vineyard, but the Concord grapes, I took a skid or a crate home last weekend, and I squeezed all the goo out of the inside of the grapes. Concord separate very easily from their guts, so you can get the skins off of the flesh really easily. So I squished out all the flesh, turned that into green grape juice, and now the skins, I'm going to use them to make blue dye. Last weekend, when I was making grape juice, I found it looks like it's white because of the colors of the camera right now, but it's actually blue. This is white, this is blue, white, blue, so that can give you an idea. But basically it gave me a little blue hue when I dyed Alex's tank top, so now I'm like, oh, I have to figure it out and get it more distilled. So this video is basically to show you that if you walk outside and you get to somewhere that has a little bit of land, there will be something that you can harvest to make dye. And we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to take you over to the stove now, where we're going to put the heat on underneath all these guys, get some water in there, and we're going to let them simmer for 1 hour on a low heat to get all of the color to leach out of those things so that we can get the dye ready. I'm also at the same time pre-soaking my fabric. So I've put my fabric into the washing machine last night. I did a load of laundry to clean it, as you should always do when you get new fabric. And now today I have it still in the washing machine. I'm just going to turn the washing machine to soak. It'll soak the fabric a little while these things simmer, and then by the time these things are done simmering and we're ready to strain, the fabric will be ready. So what you need to make natural dye out of whatever the thing you're doing it with, be it goldenrod, Queen Anne's lace, grapes, or any of the other videos that you've seen in the past, you need a bowl, glass, or plastic that you will sit the liquid dye into with your fabric. You'll also need a pot to put your natural stuff into and have that on the stove. You will need a colander as well. And then I also got a bigger plastic one because I think the grapes are going to need a little bit more space to move around once they thaw. So, like I said, I'm going to take you over to the stove now and I'll show you what we do next. Alright, so I have got the grapes and the goldenrod and the Queen Anne's lace in some water where it's just going to sit, and you can see, now you can see all those skins. So I missed a couple of the gooey bits, but that's the gooey part of the grape. And this part is just the skin. So it's going to make some nice blue dye, I hope, once it thaws out and comes to a boil. Alright, so here we are at about the 20-minute mark. We're going to let it go for another 40 minutes. But I've changed it down to simmer now because everything has come up to a boil. So the grape looks really purple like grape juice. The goldenrod is super mustard yellow. It's actually really pretty in person. And the Queen Anne's lace is really way less opaque than the other two. Super clear, transparent, and it has a green hue definitely, but it's very yellow. Like if I remove the yellow and then I put the purple and the green together, they kind of look like purple and yellow. But anyway. Those are our three colors. We've got goldenrod, grape juice, and Queen Anne's lace. So I will show you how they look back in a little while. Alright, so we are just about done. As I can show you over here, we've got our goldenrod simmering still. Still got the Queen Anne's lace and then the grapes. And then the grape juice is getting darker, getting more opaque. So it's just about time to get this part done. So I'm getting a little bit more organized over here. I've got my colander in my bowl. This will have a colander in it. First I'm just doing one last soak of my fabric. So I want to make sure it's like totally saturated. This is the fabric after I've cut it and washed it, and now I'm re-soaking it. And then I've got another bowl over here and over here just to be ready for those three. It's 9:45 now. At 10 o'clock I'm going to strain them. Alright, so we're now going to strain our stuff. I'm going to start with the goldenrod, just because the bowl is already here. Next, I'm going to do the grapes. Some more holes, okay. All right, that's pretty good for the grape. Ooh, this actually smells so good. Okay, and now I'm gonna just grab my wet fabric and begin to separate them and put them into the dye. There we go. Push everything in. And since the fabric is already wet, it's really easy for the dye to fully penetrate every part of the fabric. Guess I should have left a couple of them out just to show them when they're plain. That's okay, I've got more fabric. So pretty much, those are just gonna sit in there all day long. I'm gonna leave them in probably until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. When Alex gets home, I'll probably take them out because I'll be all excited. Yeah. It looks so purple right now, but it's gonna come out really, really blue in the end. At least I think it will. Now I'm doubting myself because it looks so purple again. Anyway, I'm just going to soak these in the color for the whole day. And I'm just going to grab that camera and show you what we're looking at right now. Alright, so you can see now how beautiful the grape is looking. Queen Anne's lace, kind of anticlimactic. Goldenrod could end up beautiful, but we'll see. I'm pretty excited about the grapes though, because I'm fairly certain they're gonna take on a lot of color. Look at how pretty that is. Alright, you guys, I think that we are pretty much as dark as we're gonna get for the blue, which looks like purple, but I promise it's gonna be blue. The green is kind of disappointing. Even the actual liquid doesn't look very green. And the gold from the goldenrod is a really pretty shade, but I am gonna leave this in here overnight just to see if I can get anything out of it, anything a little bit deeper, a little bit more special. I might leave this one in too, just to see if it can grab a little bit more of those tones. But the blue, how much more can you really grab when you are fully and completely, totally saturated? So I am going to start by squishing out what I can and just getting those guys straight into the glass bowl. And I'm gonna just fill that glass bowl with cold water. The other reason I'm squeezing them out as opposed to just pouring it, I found one of my older shirts that I still like, but it's white and it's 100% cotton, so I thought I could do it in blue to be able to actually wear it, because these are just sample cuts. So actually what I'll do, it's a terrible idea. Holy, how many did I make? Jeez Louise. Okay, one. There's still 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm gonna leave 2 of them in there and wash out the rest. So now on cold water, I'm gonna rinse out as much as I can. So you can see at this point, these are starting to get really a lot darker. All of those red tones are starting to leave, and it's getting darker and darker purple. Okay, so it's been a couple of minutes of washing these, and I'm just been with water so far, and really cold water, and I'm just trying to get as much of the juice out as I can, and you can see now how dark. See if I can get it to be most of the screen. You can see it's getting much darker. It's much less red, much more of like a true purple. Even the water, you can see it's much less of a bright purple, and it's getting a lot darker. So now I'm gonna just add more water, but I'm also gonna do a couple of drops of dish soap in there. And that's just gonna keep pushing out all of the stuff that didn't stick. You can see after another rinse, the blues are coming out. Alright, well that does its final sit. I'm going to fill up this pot again with the remaining grape dye. But first I'm going to put in one of my shirts. Cool. And I'm just going to put that on the stove for a minute so it can come up to a nice warm temperature. And then I'm going to just show you what one of those cloths looks like before it's been all rinsed out. Alright, we'll just put you on there for a few minutes. And then, remember before, let's get a freeze. This is the color that we started with. And after rinsing it all out, that's the color we finish with. So you can see really significantly different before and after a rinse. So I'm just getting the rest of it out. This I'm going to leave in the pot for a little while longer. Okay. Hopefully there was enough dye left over to color that shirt. Okie dokie. So I kind of skipped a step because I got so excited. The next step was just to dry them, which means pulling them out of the sink after rinsing them and then squeezing out all the water. For me, I had to pull tight some of these because they're muslin, so they wrinkle really easily. So I had to flatten them out as best as I can. And then I've spread them out on a towel. You can hang them to dry if you've got like a drying rack you want to use. I rinsed this one significantly less than the rest of them, and I think I might go back and rinse it again because you can see these are really like clearly blue. They're like denim. And then that one's pretty purple, so it needs a rinse, I still think. But yeah, this is the most exciting color besides onion skins. I love the color that onion skins gives when you use it for a natural dye, but holy is this ever pretty too. Is that just, oh, that's just a shadow. All right, anyway, so now I'm gonna leave them here for probably an hour or two just to dry most of the way, and then I'll hang them up for the last little bit. I think I really am gonna re-rinse that one. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, anyway guys, that's it for that dyeing tutorial today. I hope you really liked it. If you did, definitely subscribe and hit the like button, and I will be back next Tuesday with another tutorial video. Thanks so much guys, and see you in the next one. Bye!